It finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. The sniffing scene has arrived. I know, I could barely contain my excitement myself. But holy, that was some good sniffing, am I right? Moving on though, from the semi-joke. Yes, the newest episode of Solo Leveling just came out and I couldn't help but write down all my little theories to make a video about it and discuss with all of you and theorize. I am slightly sick today, by the way, so do bear with me if I slog a bit. That being said though, yes, Season 2 Episode 5, Solo Leveling, I am all in on this season so far. The episodes have been really quite good, and I've actually really enjoyed how the season has been going so far, and yeah, the episodes just keep being pretty good. This one being no different. First of all though, yes, okay, let's get it out of the way. Let's talk about Cha's sniffing, smelling arc, I suppose. As we continue on from episode 4, yes, Cha does catch him in the act of trying to test the boss a bit before, well, things calm down again, and he walks past her, to which she then smells him, casually, I suppose, as he walks past and finds out that, hold on a minute, don't go just yet, need to have another nice smell going on here. Interesting, you smell nice. Now, we don't really know yet, at least anime viewers, we don't really know yet what this smell gimmick is with Cha, but as she comments herself, Sung smells good, and he's the only hunter she's ever been close to that smelled good. Now, what might the reasons be for this? Does Cha just have a sensitive nose in terms of what personality, that she only gets a good smell going or something of the like when a, let's say, upstanding, let's say morally or honorable person is around? I assume not. But if she is just fundamentally having issues with the smell of any hunter, why Sun might smell good, I suppose, is because, as Hung himself tells us later in the episode, maybe it is because I am the player. I'm not really a hunter, I'm a player, and how that might differentiate him from every other hunter in this world. As then he also harkens back to earlier in the season when the Ice Elf boss mentioned how he wasn't human, of him while at least being different, and how that might be a reason why Cha ends up liking his smell, and why she tries to get some more at the end of this episode. I do find that gimmick interesting though, outside of the whole, yes, she's trying to sniff him and smell him and every meme and thing you want to get out of that. It could be an interesting story and narrative beat if they actually have a lot of more deeper things to build on from that. Like, why is the smell important? Is it going anywhere? What might happen with that? That's relevant to characters and whatnot later in the future. Who knows? But I do hope they actually build on this, and that the smelling isn't just some gimmick that doesn't really go anywhere, because that would feel a bit wasted. Anyhow though, smelling arc, who can complain? It's gonna be e-girl simp levels of sniffing in no time, I'm sure. Before we move on from Cha though, I did like the comment we get from one worker there. Like, oh, you met Cha. Yeah, she's been patrolling the dungeon even while her team is on break to make sure that nothing wrong happens. Which did answer my question from last episode of, why is Cha even in this dungeon? She is supposed to be on break. Why is this happening? What's up with this? And okay, yeah, the show explained it to us. She just, I suppose, patrols the dungeon every single time to make sure the mining team is safe and nothing goes wrong. And on top of it explaining a potential criticism I had of last episode, it also goes to show a bit of Cha's character. I mean, clearly she's caring, she's upstanding, she goes the extra mile to make sure that even the little guys, so to speak, quotation marks, are kept safe, that innocent people aren't being hurt just for doing their job, etc. So she's definitely an altruistic, nice person, seemingly, as far as we know so far. So I definitely appreciated that little bit of character information. Before we get into the meat of this episode though, if you are enjoying the video, please remember to like and subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel, so thank you. Now, let's move on to our good guy captain here and the party we spend most of the time with this episode, and I assume next episode too, to be fair. I do like the information we get and the insight we get into the Hunter Guild specifically when things are remarked upon that, yeah, the Hunter Guild is the only guild that is able to field 2 high-level teams, even though the second team, as is the one Sung ends up going with in this A-rank dungeon, doesn't have any S ranks with them. They have like, 3 A ranks and multiple B ranks, so clearly, or 6 A ranks even. Anyway, they have a lot of high-ranked members, and even just having one team like that is considered strong. and that the hunter skill is able to field 2 teams of a quality like that just showcases how influential and strong they are as a guild. I do love tidbits of information like that because I love learning more about the world, learning more about the guilds, their power levels, how all these things interact. So I definitely appreciated that little bit we got this episode. I also just really appreciated and liked seeing the guild team here in action. Clearly they are a well-oiled machine. They have a lot of experience together. Outside of being high ranked, they know how to fight, know how to team up, know how to take positions that are befitting their roles and just work as a team. And I did like them just showing that without overly explaining it, but just clearly showing us that, yeah, these people know what they're doing. They've done this for a long time. They are a well-oiled machine. We don't need to overly explain that to you because you get it. I did instantly, though, get worried when the captain, or I suppose soon-to-be captain, makes this comment of, just this one more dungeon to go and I'll be officially a captain in the guild. It's like, oh no, death flag, get down everyone, he's doomed. I assume he won't die though, since Sung is around, but still, that's not good, dude. Don't say things like that. It's gonna be your undoing. What ends up happening though, is that this dungeon is not quite what it seems, and it seems to be way higher level than what should be expected for an A-rank dungeon. And the party quickly finds itself in trouble, even though they are trying their best here and they're doing a lot. But these high-level orcs they face just end up being too strong, and Sung, as he can't just let them die, good guy Sung here, sweeps in, uses stealth, and goes around just kneecapping some people, cutting some places here and there, and enabling the party to defeat the enemies themselves, without making it obvious he was involved. Now, initially, I thought, oh, really, no one noticed this? I mean, Sung is S-rank, so I suppose he can, get away with it. But no, we do find out that at least one, maybe more, but at least the one mage that comments on it, saying that, he must think we're dumb, that spellcasters wouldn't notice someone using stealth right in front of them, though she comments to herself, in her monologues to herself, that he has his reasons. I'm sure I'm not gonna push the issue, I'm gonna let it be, but I wonder if not only her, but the other mages also noticed it, though it seems that the combat types, so the tanks and every other person in the party did not notice it. I wonder if that is going to be relevant moving forward in the next episode as we get this boss fight or whatever else is going to go down there, or if that's just going to be not really relevant. I suppose this is the first time Sung actually is around high-level hunters, like in the dungeon. Technically, I suppose Kim Chul, whatever his name was, at the start of Season 2 was A-rank, but this is his first time being actually close by in a proper high-ranked A-rank party and seeing them fight. And I mean, I assume Sung was impressed seeing how well organized they are and how good they are, even though in this case they are outmatched. After they beat the orcs though, they end up going back. I did like that sort of crossroads there where Sung notes to himself, yeah, I get that this captain here, the leader, wants to keep going in one way because he wants to, earn that prestige, he wants to finish this dungeon, and I suppose also get his promotion to official captain in the guild. But we see him, being the good guy, being the smart, experienced leader of, no, things are too dangerous, we must go back, that's the right thing to do, and they end up trying to go back out. Though, of course, something has gone wrong here, the gate has been blocked by some sort of magic or curse or whatnot, which leads us to the dungeon boss at the end of the episode. Before that though, I definitely do quite like the contrast the anime sparks here, when we see that the leader and basically everyone in the party says to Sung, when we get to the boss and we meet this guy, we're just gonna attack him. Hopefully, in that chaos, he won't be able to uphold the blocking spell, whatnot, on the gate, and you can escape. And one of the healers, gives him her will to give to her family, basically explaining that, yeah, we are willing to sacrifice ourselves, we won't run away, we will fight till the bitter end, and even if we lose, that's okay, because that's our job. Our job isn't necessarily to clear dungeons, it's to make gates close, and even if we all die, as long as you escape, Sung in this case, as long as you escape, since you didn't sign up for this, everything else, whatever happens, it's fine. It's our job, it's what we do, it's why we are here. Even if you all die, the gate closes, and our job will be done. I really like that mentality, clearly shows that, yeah, this party, they have some heart, they have some honor, they're very self-sacrificial. If it comes to it, they're more than willing to sacrifice themselves because it's what they signed up for. And if it keeps people safe that didn't sign up for it, or keeps, just innocent civilians safe, they are more than willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. Very nice to see, for sure. Of course, that just ends up with Sung, I imagine, gonna say it to himself, these guys are obviously much too good of people to let die. I'll have to step in here eventually, which I am sure is gonna happen next episode sometime. I'll have to just see how far it goes. But yes, I do also just like the contrast, as I mentioned before, with this party to the party that Sung had at the very start of the series, where they, abandoned him, even though they were higher ranked, right? They just ran to survive themselves. That's a very stark contrast to this, high ranked party, literally doing the exact opposite, saying, we will sacrifice ourselves to make sure that, the weaker ones, or the ones that didn't really sign up for this, get out of here and survive. And even if we die, that's okay as long as, the dungeon is sealed. I suppose that contrast has somewhat to do with that, first of all, this is like a high-level guild, right? And these are high-level people inside a high-level guild, and they are some of the best, the cream of the crop. They aren't just physically powerful, they are, let's say, mentally powerful as well. They have certain character traits that make them the way they are, not just awakened skills. And they are willing to die for a cause and have much more of a principled stance on the matter than someone that might just be E rank or D rank that goes in the dungeons as a day job just to put food on the table and aren't really up for things when everything gets too tough and shit hits the fan. They don't have that fortitude. So definitely an interesting, good contrast I appreciated them bringing up at the later stages of this episode. How the boss fight or whatever is going to happen turns out next episode, I have no idea, but God, I hope Sung just goes nuclear. That will be so fun. That, though, brings me to my last point of this video, which is, why do things keep going wrong when Sung is around? This is something I've seen other YouTubers mention as well throughout Season 2, but why do things always seem to hit the fan when Sung is around? You have the red gate at the start of the season, now you have this blocked gate with a super powerful boss in it. I mean, are these coincidences? Probably not. I mean, if they are, that's very convenient for the story, but I assume, as many others also assume that I've seen comment on this, think that, yeah, this must have something to do with the system, right? The system in one way or another here must sort of facilitate or sort of create these awkward situations to force Sung into some sort of action. Maybe force him to face difficult opponents to see how he reacts or how he does. Maybe force him into leveling up further for whatever purpose, or it being some other ulterior motive the system has for Sung. But that in the end, anyhow, the system is orchestrating all these bad things to happen, with Sung in the middle of everything. And that just seems logical at this point with how badly things seem to go when he is around. If that is the case though, oh boy, I definitely pity anyone that is stuck being around Sung, because they will get absolutely flung against the wall if Sung isn't there to save their asses. They're going to be literal collateral damage in no time in that case. So, yeah, I would stay away if I wasn't S rank, just saying. I do hope we get more information on the system though, if the system is doing these sort of things, if it is orchestrating these bad things to happen, and if so, why, and we get more trickles of information on that throughout the rest of Season 2. I think that can be really, really interesting, and then we can start to really theorize what's going on here behind the scenes. Another quick note I wanted to make is that I do find it somewhat interesting how Sung still isn't really being recognized as being S rank. I mean, we do get the note here in this episode from Cha when she wants to find out about him and asking about him. She finds out that, yeah, the guild leader Choi also asked about him, and I assume others have too, but the file on him has been sealed by the association. Clearly meaning everyone, at least the association here, with Chairman Go at the head, I suppose, are really trying to impose hard information control to make sure no one finds out how powerful Sung is. At least not until his official reassessment in a few days' time. But I feel like at this point, wouldn't people start to talk? I mean, Choi and Baek both know he's S rank, and other people in their organizations also do. So wouldn't this sort of massive news that the 10th, like only the 10th S rank in history in the country has awakened, wouldn't that be gossiped about to high heavens, especially in hunters guilds? So I feel like even just a general description or a name would have started to circulate in guilds like a hunter's guild already, but I suppose it hasn't gotten that far yet, and with the explanation of really tight information control, I suppose it's understandable that no one really knows Sung yet as anything but this E rank that he is officially. Overall though, another good episode. Really enjoyed this A rank party showing itself off and setting up this conflict and boss fight for the next episode, and getting some more characters involved in the story, and also seeing Cha more properly for the first time involved in the main story and how that moves forward. Things are definitely starting to heat up. You know, we're getting more and more people involved, more and more parties involved, and guilds involved. I can't wait to see how it all turns out for the rest of the season. Hope the boss battle, if it is going to be a boss battle next week, is going to go splendidly, and it's going to be a spectacle and super fun and engaging. And I hope all these people in the A rank, B rank party that he is with, and maybe even Cha, if she gets into the dungeon, if she can, sees him just absolutely kicking ass, and then having some Sugoi moments. That would just be splendid, and I would be gleeful, to say the least. Which then, of course, also is going to turn into his S-rank official evaluation, and then things will really start to heat up, and I just can't wait, man. I really can't. Season 2 of Soul Leveling has really been way better than I expected, to be honest. I didn't expect it to be nearly as entertaining and overall good as it has been. I wasn't the biggest fan of Season 1. I mean, I liked it, but story-wise, things have gotten more interesting, way more interesting in Season 2 for me. And I hope they just keep it up, because in that case, I will definitely be super invested overall in the story and the anime by the end of Season 2 and any future seasons. Anyhow though, have you watched the episode yet? Did you like it? Hey, leave all those thoughts and comments on the episode or my commentary down below. Do also please remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video, as that greatly helps out my channel, so thank you. If you want to be extra supportive, check out my Patreon in the description down below. Become a member, would be super appreciated. Just saying. That being said, hope you have a nice day. Keep watching anime, especially Solo Leveling, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.